I've been waiting all night for you to tell me what you want. Tell me that you need me. I've been waiting all night for you to, tell me what you want, yeah. I've been waiting all night for you to tell me what you want. Tell me that you need me. I've been waiting all night for you to, tell me what you want, yeah, want, yeah, want, yeah, want, yeah, want, yeah, want, 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 want. I've been waiting all night for you to tell me that you need me, tell me that you want me. I've been waiting all night for you to tell me that you need me, tell me that you want me. Tell me that you need me, tell me that you want me, tell me that you need me, tell me that you want me, tell me that you need me, tell me that you want me, tell me that you need me, tell me that you want me. I've been waiting all night for you to tell me what you want. Tell me that you need me. I've been waiting all night for you to, tell me what you want. Yeah. I've been waiting all night for you to tell me what you want. Tell me that you need me. I've been waiting all night for you to, tell me what you want. Yeah. I've been waiting all night for you to tell me that you need me. Tell me that you want me. I've been waiting all night for you to tell me that you need me. Tell me that you want me. Tell me that you need me. Tell me that you want me. Tell me that you need me. Tell me that you want me. Tell me that you need me. Tell me that you want me. Tell me that you need me. Tell me that you want me. Tell me right now, yeah. Tell me right now, yeah. Right
You enchant me, even when you're not around. If there are boundaries, I will try to knock them down. I'm latching on, babe. Now I know what I have found. I feel we're close enough. I wanna lock in your love. I think we're close enough. Could I lock in your love, I got you in my space. I want to go again. Got you shackled in my embrace. I'm latching on to you. I got you in my space. I want to go again. Got you shackled in my embrace. I'm latching on to you.
be seated. For those that have chairs. So good afternoon everybody, I am Debbie Hawker and it is my absolute privilege to be here on this beautiful day to officiate the marriage of Riki and Jess. Now before we begin I'd like to ask you all to make sure that your mobile phones are on silent. As they all reach for their phones. Where's your phone? Nice boy. I'd also like to ask that everyone who wants to take photos during the ceremony to please be mindful of Jess, who is our professional photographer today. Riki and Jess appreciate you not obstructing her ability to capture some very special moments. And I'd also like to take this time to make special mention of all of those that have travelled from far and wide to be here today. It is very special to Jess and Riki that you have come and wholeheartedly appreciated. And let us not forget those that cannot be seen but are here in spirit. And they'll be smiling down watching over Riki and Jess as they celebrate their love and commitment. And they're in our thoughts and hearts. Thank you. Right, we're good. All right, party time. We're gathered together here today at the beautiful Avebury house to celebrate love and family because what could be more important? Today is so special because everyone Riki and Jess love most in the world, who they consider family, are all here today for one precious moment in time. It is one of life's richest surprises when the fateful meeting of two individuals leads them to proceed together along a common path, when a chance relationship grows into a permanent bond of love. For Riki and Jess to announce out loud in front of their nearest and dearest their desire to be together forever, to declare their love publicly, officially, and permanently. Now, when these two actually met for the very first time is a bit of a debate, but what you all know is Riki and Jess started officially just over 5 years ago. They were at a stage in their lives where they felt the universe had a plan, that they were destined to connect on a deeper level. Jess knew Riki needed to be in her life. He felt the same way. And from that point on, the toothbrush was in the bathroom and they were all on. The commitment was instant. As their love has grown, they have developed a sense of awareness around one another. They have learnt many things from each other. They exercise compromise and effortlessly put the needs of each other ahead of themselves. Even with his dislike of dogs, Riki soon came around. Riki soon came around and took Stella on as if she was his own. His love of dogs grew to the point that when suggested, Riki was on board to add to their tribe, even choosing Rundy, which is when their family of 4 became a family of 5, not forgetting wee Marley. Throughout their relationship, they have lived together at various locations. They've travelled the world doing the things they love the most. Riki has studied and passed, and they have partied hard. Riki and Jess have connected deeply over similar interests and personality traits. Some have said they are the opposite sex of the same person. They have fallen in love with a person who enjoys and encourages their madness, who has embraced them for who they are and not wanting them to pretend to be someone they are not. So let us celebrate and take the time to pause, reflect and look back to see how much love has grown between these two over the past 5 years. Marrying today gives Riki and Jess the confidence and understanding that they love each other equally and are as committed as each other to their future together. Their hopes for married life are to continue having fun together, to have good health, to continue communicating openly, to understand each other and to respect each other. They want to travel, grow in all aspects of their lives together, and maybe one day in the future start a wee family of their own. So, and hold hands. Yeah, that's it. Nice. Riki and Jess believe that their marriage is a reinforcement of the relationship they already have. And they'd like to share the promises they have already made in their hearts, out loud, in the presence of the people who mean the most to them and have played a large part in their lives. They believe this marriage is an expression of the strength of their relationship and of the confidence they feel in it, something they know will endure and grow stronger still in the future. Do you, Riki Shane, take Jessica May McConaughey to be your wife and partner in crime? Do you promise to continue making her laugh with your perfectly compatible humour? And bring home wine and chocolate at least once a week? Do you promise to offer at all times your encouragement, trust and support? And above all, do you promise to love her unconditionally until the end of your days?
Should you?
I'll take that. Awesome. And do you, Jessica May McConaughey, take Riki Shane to be your husband and partner in crime? Do you promise to continue to try your best to put up with his hectic farts? And embrace his emotional range of a tea towel? Dude, that's awesome. Will you continue helping Riki in any way you can when the chips are down, which he loves that you do for him, and also make him laugh with your perfectly compatible humour? Do you promise to offer him at all times your encouragement, trust and support? And above all, do you promise to love him unconditionally until the end of your days?
I do.
Thank you. Now I'm going to ask everybody here to make some commitments, and when I give you the signal, which will be my arm in the air like this, I want you all to respond in your loudest voices, we do. So, do you all promise to stand by Riki and Jess through the future chapters in their life story together?
Shit, yeah.
Thank you. Will you offer a couch to sleep on if Riki has been naughty? Babysit Stella, Runty and any future children at short notice? Invite them round for home-cooked meals and help them through the wonderful thing that is marriage by supporting them with guidance, patience, trust and unconditional love. Oh, that was a good one. Right. Riki and Jess are now going to share the vows they have written for each other. We're going to do a little bit of rock, paper, scissors to decide who goes first. On 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Who's going first, buddy? You decide. You won. All right, my friend. And while you're doing that, I'm going to step out of the way and get your vows.
Jess, this is my promise to you. I'll always love you, even when you're a wee bit of a grumpy bum. I'll always love dogs with you, but I will always stop you owning 27. I'll always kill spiders for you, but definitely not daddy long legs, because for some reason I like them heaps. I'll always look after you when you're sick, but self-inflicted hangovers I'm still 50-50 on. I'll always love your cooking, even though you've snuck in vegetarian into my life. Like this promise, I'll always have a smart-ass answer for everything, but always remember I'm only joking. And contrary to belief, I'll always love you more than CrossFit.
We all heard that. I love it. Good? You guys ready? Let me tuck this away for you.
My gorgeous, beautiful man, there's not much I can say today that you don't already know. Since the day I met you the second time, I knew you were the one for me. There have many times where I was like, yep, this is it. I'm in love with this man. Some of the best things are the little dance that you do in your underwear. Your constant selflessness, your ability to decide what's for dinner. And I look at you every day and just think, fuck, I love you. You walked into the room with your beautiful blue eyes and my life changed forever. Your energy was electric and I was instantly addicted. You light up my life and I couldn't imagine life without you. You make me laugh so much, and that's something that will never change. You're a beautiful soul inside and out, and you would do absolutely anything for everybody that's here today. And you deserve the absolute world. From the day we met, you've always put me first, delivering morning coffees, forever checking to see if I'm okay, put up with me when I'm hangry, cooking and cleaning, and always pouring me the biggest wine. Giant bear hugs, and always been there for me even when I'm an a-hole. The day I found you, found out you didn't like purple jelly babies, I knew we were never ever going to have to argue about anything as long as we live. Throughout our marriage, I will continue to go into bat for you. I will protect you and be your #1 supporter and always have your back. I will always support your crazy ideas and believe in your dreams. Today I acknowledge that Not only am I marrying you, but I'm also committing to your love of CrossFit. I look forward to trying new things with you, even though that's not my favourite thing to do in the world. Throughout our journey together, we've experienced so much. I can't wait for more travel and laughter, fur babies and date nights, madness, fun times. And if we do ever decide to have children, I think you'd make the most amazing father. Truly, you are my soulmate. You are the stars to my universe, and I can't wait to call you my husband. Grow old with me, baby. The best is yet to come.
Thanks, Button. Isn't that nice? You can hold hands if you want to. Yeah. Now it's the fun part. Today's ceremony excludes objects and is something that is going to become a part of Riki and Jess forever. In this very unique and personal ceremony, which is far from any traditional wedding experience, Riki and Jess will be inked. Yes. Yeah. These tattoos declare the permanency of their love for one another, and while Scott is placing these very special and personal tattoos on Riki and Jess, we'll also be signing the legal documentation. So I would love for you all to please relax, grab a drink from the bar, which is open, and mingle amongst yourselves, and we'll be back shortly with the second half of today's ceremony. Thank you. right, let us continue. Now, these permanent markings are a symbol of commitment and love. They are not only a gift from one to another, but are given with the love, support and wisdom of your family and friends that surround you. Riki and Jess will now permanently wear them every day as a visible symbol of their love and commitment. They cannot take them off, they cannot lose them, and they cannot leave them lying around accidentally. When either of you look at your left hand, you'll be reminded of the commitment that you've made today that will last forever. Now, keen to do something slightly different that accurately reflected their individuality, Riki and Jess are going to incorporate a subtle yet meaningful aspect of old school wedding tradition in their ceremony today. So they're going to be sharing from the same cup of love, which is otherwise known as a quake. Now, at the time I asked them to produce a shared vessel, I didn't actually think they would take the piss. So, to explain what we're going to be doing, it is a ritual which is symbolic of trust, love and peace between the bride and groom. And by drinking from the cup, it is visible to everyone here that these two will cherish each other forever and that the contents have not been poisoned. Which is what the significance of the quake was from historic times. It is believed that this act of sharing is a strong symbol of the life a couple will share together. And the tipple they've chosen to share today is a drop that they both love, a Pegasus Bay Riesling. So let us drink. Really?
I just looked over and
Okay. Don't get on yourself, take your time. Drink.
Right. On three. Cheers. 1, 2, 3.
Riki!
Oh, do not get that on yourself.
One more time!
All right, that's enough.
Woo!
Thanks. Grab your letters. Go! You can finish that later. It smells awesome. Zesty. Now, like, oh, jeepers. Are we in?
Testing. Now, like a good wine, a great love will deepen and mature with age. I draw your attention to this box on the end of the table and enclosed is a bottle of Pegasus Bay Pinot. This bottle of wine is to be kept safe and unopened until it can be enjoyed by Riki and Jess on their 5th wedding anniversary. Now, as a part of today's ceremony, I have miraculously managed to talk Riki and Jess, not so much Jess, more so Riki, to capture their thoughts and feelings leading up to today in personal letters to each other. Riki and Jess will also be asking everyone here to compose notes throughout the remainder of the day to also be included in this box. These notes will contain your thoughts and hopes for their marriage, a funny story or a childish scrawl, or your most important pieces of advice as they journey through life together. Notepads, pens and this box will be placed on a table for you to write and slip your note in throughout the course of this afternoon and this evening under the blue marquee over there. At the end of the night, these notes will be sealed in this box to be opened and shared together with a bottle of wine on Riki and Jess's 5th wedding anniversary. On that day, they will get to reflect on the events and emotions they shared on this awesome day with everyone here and reminisce about all of the wonderful memories they will have made over the last 5 years and dream of all of those yet to come. So I'd like to ask you both to head over and pop your letters in.
Right, front centre, Tane. We're just going to sort your dress out, okay?
Beautiful, mate.
Right, stand and face each other, hold hands. It's party time. This is it. Rach, can I get you over this side, babe? Got him?
Riki and Jess, you've kissed 1,000 times, maybe more, probably more. But today the feeling is new, no longer simply partners and best friends. And it gives me the greatest pleasure to finally pronounce you as husband and wife. And Riki, you may kiss your beautiful wife here.
No, I don't think so. Pass me that.
Please stand.
For those in the chairs.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to formally introduce you all for the very first time, Mr. and Mrs. Shane.
Like the legend of the phoenix, all ends with beginnings. What keeps the planet spinning? The force from the beginning. Love. We've come too far to give up who we are. So let's raise the bar and our cups to the stars. She's up all night to the sun. I'm up all night to get some. She's up all night for good fun. I'm up all night to get lucky. We're up all night to the sun. We're up all night to get some. We're up all night for good fun. We're up all night to get lucky. 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 The present has no ribbon. Your gift keeps on giving. What is this I'm feeling? If you wanna leave, I'm with it. We've come too far to give up who we are. So let's raise the bar and our cups to the stars. She's up all night to the sun. I'm up all night to get some. She's up all night for good fun. I'm up all night to get lucky. We're up all night to the sun. We're up all night to get some. We're up all night for good fun. We're up all night to get lucky. 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 We're up all night to get. 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 We're up all night to get lucky. We're up all night to get. We're up all night to get lucky. 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 gotta tell you. Gotta tell you, gotta tell you. Clueless, you got me clueless. See, I don't know what it is, but you have it. When you started moving, don't stop moving. Let me get closer to you, closer to you, closer, closer. This night is overdue. I can't help myself. One thing I wanna do is get closer to you, closer to you, closer, 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 closer. Come get closer. Foolish, I'm feeling foolish. Don't usually do this myself. It's a habit, but when you started moving, keep on moving. Let me get closer to you, closer to you, closer, closer. This night is overdue. I can't help myself. One thing I wanna do is get closer to you, closer to you, closer, 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 closer. Come get closer. Tell me, do you know what this is? 'Cause I feel like I'm flying, flying. I feel like I'm flying, yeah. Good morning, how do you feel? 'Cause I'm ready to dive in, I'm ready to dive in, yeah. This champagne's overdue. I can't help myself. One thing I wanna do is get closer to you, closer to you, closer, 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 closer. Celebrate, celebrate tonight. Celebrate, 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 celebrate tonight.
Can I have your attention, please? So we're just going to do the last of the formalities in what is a fairly informal day. For those of you who don't know me, I am the sheriff, and I'm going to be your MC and sheriff for the night. So what that means is I make the rules. Okay. So we've got a few speeches. We're going to get through them pretty quickly. Jess and Riki were quite clear that they didn't want impromptu speeches from the floor, which is understandable. The only thing about that is when you get those speeches, sometimes you get to learn a few little gems about people that you wouldn't otherwise know.
I didn't my name on to speak.
However, I have got some facts that you wouldn't otherwise know about Rick and Jess. Yeah, sure I've got that. So I'm going to share them with you. So Jess's first pet was called Coke. Really. And the first street that she lived in was called Harper Street. Right. So Ricky's first pet was called Mog. And his mother's maiden name is Matchett. So that means their stripper names are Coke Harper and Mog Matchett.
Where's my mum? Where's my mum? Where's mum?
So I want you all just to think back as to what your first pet, your first street, or maybe your mother's maiden name if it works better, is. And if you're being introduced to someone for the first time, maybe just introduce yourself by your stripper name and see if they get onto it, you know? Mine's Butch Mottram. Oh yeah. Right, another bit of useless information which I need Craig Shaw to be onto. So I asked Jess and Riki what was the first bit of vinyl they ever bought. And much to my dismay, Jess has never bought vinyl in her life.
I just listened.
Because this tells a fair bit about a person, the first record they bought. Mine was Saturday Night Fever by the Bee Gees. So Jess didn't buy vinyl, but her first cassette. It's not a bad one.
Not a good one.
Was Fat of the Land. Quality. And Riki, well, this was kind of like a catchphrase, or he took this on personally. So it was Michael Jackson. So again, I want you just to think back in time and remember the first vinyl, hopefully, or cassette, or for some of you younger ones, maybe CD, that you bought. And when you're talking to people tonight, I want you to share it with them. Okay? Right, so there's some useless bits of information that you wouldn't get otherwise. And so without further ado, we're going to go into some of the speeches. And first, I'd like to introduce Jess's grandfather, Charlie, and he's going to tell you a little bit about Jess when she was younger.
Right. My name's Charlie Thomas, for those who don't know you, and I'm the sheriff's sheriff. What I say, and I'm Jess's granddad, and very, very proud. Now, the first thing I want to say is to Rick. Welcome to our family, Rick. You're welcome at our place any time, day or night. There's always a bed for a night or a month or a year. There's always a food, or even just a quiet sit down and have a couple of chilies out and a bit of a yarn. You must be a good man. I don't know you as well as I should. Life's very busy, but I judge a person by the friends they have around them. And today there's some very loving, good people around. Some of them I know, some of them I don't. But I can sense they're all good buggers. So that makes you a good bugger. So that's that bit out of the way. Now, I'd like to thank Philip, who is my eldest son, and Yvonne for bringing wee Jess into the world. Very lovely. That relationship didn't last. Philip moved on, and Yvonne, I have the most admiration for her. She brought wee Jess up and made a beautiful young lady of her. Good on you, Yvonne. Jess has always been a fabulous wee person. The car she came to the wedding in today, my wife picked her up from the home when she was born, her and Yvonne. So now she's gone to her wedding day in the same car. So that's pretty special. Now, our happiest times were when all our grandkids used to come out to the farm. And wee Jess, she was the only granddaughter we've got, so she was very special. And I always sensed there was something real good about wee Jess. They're all good, but there was something different about Jess, as girls are. She had a great wee sense of humour, and she was pretty difficult. But listen and learn, you wee pricks. So anyway, wee Jess used to come out to the farm, and she was a laugh a minute. But she also had a very determined streak. And you might want her to do something, and she would inveigle her way around that she wouldn't do it, or vice versa. You didn't want her to do it, and she would do it. So anyway, when she was just a wee tot, we gave her first wee foxy pet. It was a wee miniature foxy, and we gave her this wee dog and a wee kennel. And Jess was just over the moon. And she wanted that dog beside her night and day. And Yvonne laid down the rules, and she says, Jess, the dog can sleep in your bedroom with you, but it must be in the kennel on the floor. Yes, Mum, okay, Mum, says wee Jess. So there they are. Yvonne goes in, and the wee dog's in the wee kennel beside the bed, and Jess is asleep. A couple of hours later, Yvonne goes in to check on wee Jess. The bloody wee dog in the kennel, both up on the bed, and all of them asleep. So that's just a wee bit of the way Jess is. Jess, we love you with all our hearts, darling. You're very, very special to Nana and Grandad and all our family. And I just hope that you and Rick have such a happy, happy life. So, that's me.
Thank you, Charlie. It's obvious where Jess gets her style from, eh? Right, I'm going to pass you on to the best man, Greg.
Get your ass up there.
It was always going to be.
Sorry about the downgrade.
Bear with me to write this. So to begin off with, I've got to say, very honoured to be your best man, one of the best men. Riki and Jess, great couple. See how it goes. When I first got asked, I was going, I've got to do a speech. And then I was like, God, this guy hates speeches. But then I thought, holy hell, I've known Riki for just about 20 years, and there's like hundreds of stories. Literally hundreds that we could talk about. But then I had to count them. What the ones can't you do at the wedding? What literally can you just never ever repeat? And which ones are really inappropriate and offensive. And I came up with this wee gem. So on the behalf of Riki and Jess, I hope you have a good night. You really do not want to know the truth. So now, then I thought, well, there's a lot of people here, and we all know, a lot of us, most of us know Riki from London. So I thought I'd come up with a few stories from New Zealand after we'd been mates for a long time. And those were, I'd like to talk about what I admire about Riki. He's a man of many talents, if you didn't know already. He's been in the army, and if you didn't know, he was also the youngest New Zealand soldier to be deployed overseas. He's run a hostel, or run a hostel into the ground. I'm not too sure. After talking to Amon today, I remembered another one. He was a Sega games tester. We'll talk about the chicken bags later. He was a DJ, obviously. A dry liner or a jibber. The list goes on. He was also part of a two-man team called the Good Barbecue Blokes. We both thought it would be a great idea to just cook other people's barbecues, and we'd do such a good job that we'd get told to stay on for the party and get pissed. Believe it or not, we got bookings. He's obviously a personal trainer, but the one I want to talk about the most, and the one that most people probably don't know about, is being a TV personality. I'd like to say TV superstar. So close, but yet so far away. The first show was called Captive. And I did have a picture of the show, but you're probably lucky, actually. Yeah. If you want to go, I should. But Riki said, bro, I've made it onto a TV show. Can you drop me off at the airport? Yeah, sweet, bro. So that was Thursday. That was a cross between The Weakest Link and Big Brother. So everyone stayed in the house while they answered questions. So obviously we thought Riki would be on there for ages. Just dropped him off Thursday, show started Friday. I was in the club, got this call. Bro, can you pick me up tomorrow? But because of that, he led on to other bigger, better shows. One's in Australia, but we'll talk about that later. He's a man of his word. He definitely is. We know when he says he's not going to drink, he doesn't drink. Even if it lasts a month. But the one story that comes to my mind when I think of that is we'd both come back from London, and I'd had a hell of a week. Work sucked, cat been run over, card been broken into. Life was just shit. And it's coming back from London, it's really hard getting used to New Zealand again. And I just called up Riki and went, bro, I'm fucking over the shit. I'm going back to London. Riki was like, yeah, bro, let's do it. Let's do it, let's go. Yeah, sweet, bro. Hung up, didn't think too much of it, actually, until the next day he told me his flight details. Yeah. I felt really stink going, bro, I was just venting. Riki spent 2 more years over in London. Here we go. One more. He's a survivor. I just said he was in the army. He survived that. He survived London.
No mean feat.
No, not at all. But then I realised how he survived. There was a mate of ours called Tristan, or Teabag. It was on his stag do, and it was on. Can't remember if it was the first or Christmas or something. It was close. It was around this time of year actually, and we left Te Anau, and it was perfect blue skies, and we were going on this tramp. It was 8 hours long, and I remember Riki going, "That's for the unfit people. We can bust this out in 4 hours." Hell yeah! So 4 hours in, we realised we still had 4 hours to go. And what was perfect blue skies was just the once in a 10-year storm. And we were really lucky because we had stubbies and a singlet and no wet weather gear. But because of Riki's survival skills, we had 1 can of chop chicken and 2 bottles of whiskey. So there's always what's broke. We made it to the 8-hour mark, and we had to cross this what we were told was supposed to be a little stream, which 10-year storm was a raging river. We can't go across there, bro. We have to. So I got a stick and I was wading out, making sure that it wasn't too deep. Survival skills kicked in. Riki was going, "Give me the bottle of whiskey, bro, just in case you tip over." It got hairy there for a bit, but we got across. And then he started rubbing sticks together trying to start a fire. I'm just glad that we had the whiskey to keep us warm. But back to the TV series. Now that you've got a wife and a great partner, as we can all agree. And now that you'll have your own business, do some really good wads. I hope you never hear these words ever again, especially on national TV. You've had 15 beers, 5 cocktails, and 10 tequilas. You're fired.
For a man that didn't want to speak, he did a pretty good job. Right, so I'm going to pass you over to our maid of honour.
Hi everyone. So for those who don't know me, my name is Rachel and I'm Jess's bridesmaid and maid of honour. And what an honour it is to be here today to celebrate this wedding of this very fine couple, Jess and Riki Shane. So for many of you, you're probably quite familiar with how it all officially started between these two, with the Monday room incident, the infamous Monday room incident. There was, however, an earlier connection about a year prior, when I remember sprinkling some love dust on these two cuties. They don't remember the occasion that well, but we were at an after party at Pete's house. Yay! And as you can imagine, we both had a few and we're feeling pretty darn amazing. Riki was sitting in a big armchair, comfy as, and Jess and I were sitting either side of him, and we're both cheekily giving him a bit of grief. I'm pretty sure Jess called him an imposter and was asking him where all his mates were and where were all his supplies. I remember thinking, well, these two make a really cute couple. Roll on a year later and Craig and I are living overseas, and I get the best news ever. Hookup Central. A hookup like no other, and so out of character for Jess. I was fizzing with the news. Of course, some people had their concerns, but I knew they'd both met their match in each other. I never had my doubts, and I'm so happy to be here today celebrating their wedding. And like any true and real couple, it's not always perfect. They have both sacrificed a lot over the past year, and have overcome a number of hurdles and challenges to make this day come true. This is a testament of their love and their strength and the realisation of what's achievable when two soulmates trust in themselves and each other. Please raise your glass and a toast to Mr. and Mrs. Shane. Thank you.
Right, so despite Jess's best endeavour, I'm going to pass you on to Amon.
I didn't realise that Jess was so worried about what I was going to say today, so it's not normally one for many words, but, you know, because of her reaction in the toilet before, I'll force the point. Anyway, I'm quite stoked to be honoured to be here today because Riki came into my life about over 20 years ago when a lot of us back in the 90s went on our OE. We ended up in a house. And like we did back then, we ended up in a house. There was about 20 of us living in a house. Many of them are actually here now. In 1996, it was a house full of awesome souls who ended up becoming more like family. And then many who came later that are family as well. And it's stoked to see you all here today because it's a testament to the kind of person that Riki is. He's the kind of person that can walk into a room and just light it up, make you feel comfortable if you're sitting in the corner feeling really awkward and don't know anyone. He's that kind of guy that will walk up and just the smile on his face makes you relax, that kind of thing. I mean, and that's what drew me to him. You know, and hey, cheers. You know, but that's a kind of trait that many people, you know, strive for, and it's a very special thing. And I'm stoked to have been a close friend of you for these years, and the fact that, you know, I'm stoked that you've asked me to be a best man with Greg, obviously. Okay. Now, on a side note, actually, we all know Riki's prowess in the dance music industry and his introduction and what we did in London with FIFA things and whatnot. But his introduction to the club scene of London, if he'd stayed on track, Jess could very well be called Jeremy. Considering the first club that Riki went to was called Love Muscle. He can tell you a bit about that later. It's one of his favourite stories. Hey. Now, I mean, I wasn't planning on telling many stories about him because it's one of those ones where Jess's face was like, you don't go anywhere. Because I've got a lot of shit. Right? But the thing is that, as you all know, these two as a couple are the kind of couple that create stories for us all, you know? Those ones where we go to parties, that we all come to parties like this and we talk about shit, mate, and we go, do you remember that? You know, and it's true, man. I mean, we're just walking around today, man, everyone's just telling story after story after story. But I will tell one.
How nervous are you guys?
I can see Jeff's kneecaps quivering. No. This is purely about Riki. Has anyone ever been in a car with him? Right, well, in the early days, you were actually probably still today, you're putting your life at risk. Because when I first met Riki, Riki's driving instructor was Gran Turismo. And he reckoned making it to level 3 was an awesome fucking achievement. Alright? He's like, I've nailed it, mate. Let's go out. Kilburn-High Road. All the way. Now, yeah, and hey, considering you went to the army, you know, you'd think you learn everything in the army. No, tanks don't equate to cars. So, now the story begins in the wee hours of London in the morning, and after we'd done this big event in London, we decided we want to go to this party down in the south of England in Cornwall, and it was one of these weird bloody hippie parties, and we thought, yeah, so we piled in. We got a transit van, and we all thought we'd pile into it. Hey, Love Muscle on tour, not quite, but anyway, Riki was nominated with another one of the boys going, well, you guys have just turned up, we've done the party, one of you can drive. And rather than Riki drive, we chose someone who was called Sideshow Bob. He was the more appropriate driver. Riki could be the navigator. Now, about 5 of us piled in the back and went to sleep. About 4 hours later, it turned out, I thought, oh, I'll pop my head up and poke out and see how they're going. As I poked my head through, all I could see is Riki scrummaging through a map going, fuck, we're lost. Excuse the French. And then as we hit a big bridge, now, just so you know, the party we were going to was in Cornwall, which is in South England. As we drove over the bridge, it said, "Welcome to Wales." Now, that's 3 hours in the wrong direction for anyone who knows. Right, so that's, Ricky. Now, the whole point in this, change my page, is the directions that we take in life. And with Riki, it was like one of those, me and him have been, over the years, we've started as friends and we became very close, more like brothers. It's one of those ones, we have squabbles, we have arguments. We never fought, there's never been a fisticuff or anything like that, but the fact that we've ended up here today shows that we can go on weird directions in life, and he finally made it, and she's an awesome girl. Right?
Not bad.
And the fact that we've made it here with such a good bunch of people, I'd like to charge your glasses to the Mr. and Mrs. And if you want to hear any more dirt, well, it'll come out later. So, awesome. Thanks, guys. Enjoy the evening.
So Jess wasn't that bad. So for the last, I suppose, reply, I'm going to hand you over to Riki.
I've lost my notes. Back of my valves. It's not there anymore.
Are the valves on the table?
No, I'll wing it. Firstly, thank you to all of you. It means so much, and like Deb said in her speech earlier, all of you are here because you're family. Okay, my family's only like that big. My mum, my brothers and sisters, those are the people that mean the most to me, and the people that I've met in London, and the people who I've met from the people in London who have extended to the people here right now. So, you guys are my family. You're all my brothers and my sisters, my aunties and uncles, the whole lot. So I thank you guys for coming here tonight. It means a lot to me. I know Greg because I ripped Greg off on a drug deal. So that's how me and Greg knew each other. So let's just clarify that. He came around to buy some gear. I was in London. I fully ripped him off. He turned up in a fucking grey suit with those grey slip-on fucking things with the zips on the side. And I was like, who's this guy? This guy's easy money. But funnily enough, Amon was away on holiday and I was supposed to give Amon the money and I didn't. So this is the circle that we have here. I want to thank, firstly, this beautiful soul right next to me. We've grown together over the last 5 years. And everything we do together, it's together. We first met in a nightclub, as most of you will know. I'm not going to say the story. And just the circumstances were that she moved in like a week later. And you don't do that unless the person is pretty special to you, unless you know. And so that, to me, is something that I'll always hold dear with us, is that within a week I knew, hey, pack your toothbrush, girl, come on in. I want to say thank you for everybody that has travelled from overseas. Wade and Julie, can I see you guys? They've come from St. Prue in the Caribbean. So from the Caribbean to Puerto Rico to Miami to LA to Auckland to Christchurch, which is amazing. Rowan and Ems have come from Chamonix in France, which is amazing. Rowan and Charlotte have come from Scotland, which is amazing. Timmy's come from Hallswell. I've got Boss and Leisha have come from Sydney. My little brother has come from Melbourne. I love you, bro. Amazing. And everybody else, Aucklanders, I'm sorry the weather's been so fucking cold. Oh my God. The only thing the Aucklanders have done is whinged about the fucking weather. Oh my Lord. Oh my Lord. It's been hectic. Jess's family, thank you for opening your arms to me since day one as well. Yvonne and Mick, Tony and Chris and all the extended family as well. You guys have made it easier for me because, well, you're not weird, you're not fucking nerds, and you like to drink beers, and Riki loves a beer as well, so it's perfect. It's not one of those going and meet the in-laws and I'll roll my eyes, oh my God. You know, we get in the car, we drive to Timaru. I love drinking beers with you guys and hanging out with you guys. To everybody that's travelled, Sheriff, emceeing, all my DJs, later on, if you want to get a request for ABBA or Boney M, Rhino, he really loves that stuff. Rowan and Rowan, they will play ABBA all day. Debs, our celebrant, thank you so much. You tried to slip in so much romantic shit. She's the only woman, apart from Jess, who's told me to fuck up about 10 times. Because every time she tried to suggest something, I was like, that's gay. Fuck up, Riki. Just hear me out. That's gay. Fuck up, Riki. And we got there in the end. We compromised. And it was beautiful. Thank you, Debs. So I just want to raise a glass, not only to my beautiful wife, but to all my beautiful friends and family. Thank you so much. Where's my mum? Where's my mum? Is my mum there? My mum's way up the back. Thank you so much, Mum. Go the 70s. Good girl. Antoinette, our wedding coordinator. Where's Antoinette? Right here. She cracked the motherfucking whip. Yo. Oh my God. It was amazing. All of this is because of her. She flew over from Australia with 60 kilos of gear. All of the stuff here. Amazing. It's massive. All the girls that looked after Jess today, the hair and makeup girls, amazing. All the guys that looked after me the last couple of days, it's been awesome. It makes me realise how special you know, we are to have you guys look after us like you have in the last couple of days. So thanks for the effort, everybody. I love you all.
I can't believe Jess is not having a word here. First time ever. I've just got a couple of telegrams to read and then we can get back to the festivities. First one's from Aaron Fever in Thailand. I met Aaron in Melbourne. He decided he could either make the wedding or the stag do, and he was like, fuck you bitches, I'm going to stag do. So this is the well, I hope you guys had a special day. So wish I could have been there to celebrate with you guys, but I made a better decision. Just remember to enjoy your day. Big love from Thailand. See you on the flip side. And then another wee word there, smash it for both of us.
What does that mean?
This is from Luke and Janelle Matchett. To the beautiful couple, Riki and Jess. Wish we could be there to celebrate with you today. Sending our love and cyber confetti from sunny South Africa. Wishing all that's beautiful in your brand new journey as Mr. and Mrs. They look at each other like they were the only stars in the whole damn sky. Like they were the only ones walking the earth. Soulmates United. Lots of love, Janelle and Luke Patchett. And can I have a raise your glasses one more time? So this is Mr. and Mrs. Harper and Matchett, the best goddamn strippers I've ever met.
We were like shooting stars. We went up in flames. If I never had this heart, I wouldn't feel this way. Some say we went too far. They don't understand our game. If you were to take my hand, I wouldn't change a thing. I wouldn't change a thing. I wouldn't change a thing. And for the first time, it felt like the world right so tight, elevates on wings. I think this certainly comes from the heart. Sure ain't no coincidence. We're moving up, breathing in, reaching out, taking flight, rolling over feet. And if we take it too far to come back again, I don't mind. We were like shooting stars. We went up in flames. If I never had this heart, I wouldn't feel this way. Let's run away from here. We'll leave the world behind. I could drown away your tears.